Capricorn, welcome to your August 2021 reading. Before we look at these cards together and pull some more, I'll give you my initial thoughts on what's coming up. It seems like you have been in the past, let's take this to end of July, coming into August, been giving something a great deal of second thought and reflection. You have been really thinking about changing something, and it seems to be of an emotional nature. You have been given an enormous amount of new perspective recently. You have been able to see the world through entirely new eyes. Enlightened new world view, and it's all been gained through some sort of a departure or second reconsideration or having second thoughts about something. Maybe this was something that you had put in a great deal of effort and fight for, and you persevered with this chapter of your life for a decent amount of time, so that the kind of reflection period hasn't been the easiest for you to determine that this might be something that you need to leave behind now, or leave an area of your life behind. And you seem to have probably made some of those moves, and at least have spent a lot of time thinking and having second thoughts and seeing how that you're going to kind of navigate the future. It's been aided by this hanged man energy that you've been stepping into recently, where you have had to maybe take a step back. Maybe you've been somewhat removed from your usual day-to-day life, or you've had a period of reflection that took you away from the world for some time for whatever reason. You needed a little bit of time out, or you just, without a choice of yours, you seemed like you were sort of in a limbo or suspended and you weren't getting any further on something. That was actually a very valuable time in your life, even though it might have felt stagnated or slow or like that purgatory limbo sort of phase. What you learned during that time, that quieter time, or that more strung up on a string, I can't even do anything if I wanted to time, was actually very valuable. As we move into August, I have some more cup energy, 6 of Cups and the 5 of Cups reversed. So Capricorn, you're not always known to be the most sensitive sign or emotional sign, in at least in pop astrology, but Capricorn is deeply sensitive, represented by the sea goat. It's not a real animal, so or a real creature, but Capricorn balances that realness of the goat, very humble, very hardworking, very no airs or graces with the humble goat. They're cute as hell, let's not lie. But when the sea goat element comes into it, that's when that mysticism comes into it. So Capricorn actually has a very mystical sense of sensitivity, and that is really never captured very well in pop astrology. This is coming up to the forefront now for you. We have a lot of mysticism and Neptunian energy here with the Hanged Man. So you are kind of even developing more of an interest in mysticism and even the occult. These are Scorpio cards, Mars and Scorpio, Sun and Scorpio. So you are, and that's the sign of the kind of associated with the occult, and maybe you are kind of even getting interested in things. And it doesn't have to be magic or tarot. And well, if you're watching this video, you're probably already interested in tarot, but it can be other things, hidden meanings, hidden secrets. And this does look like to me like some sort of a secret from the past might have come up, some sort of an issue with friends of yours, someone that you really love dearly, a sibling even, or somebody you had in your life now for quite some time. You are getting over whatever hurts had occurred in that relationship, and actually this month you may even feel like there is a bigger duty of yours to step up and be accounted for this, or to look at this issue again that had been getting you down concerning a friend or someone that you love from the past. You are getting over it. It isn't the easiest. You have been maybe more in your feelings this month more than usual. That's could be where we're kind of at the moment, but by the end of the month, Capricorn, I'm seeing Emperor energy. So whatever murky emotional soup has been given, offered to you that you don't really want to take this month, you're trying to step back from it. You may not fully be able to do that because it's kind of a major arcana test for you at this time of your power and of your kind of, do you feel, Capricorn, this is what you may be asked in judgment this month, do you feel like what you're doing is right? Do you feel like you have the right to do it? The Emperor has no doubts about their right to be here, to take up space, to do what it is that they want to do. And it seems like that's the energy you're going into by the end of the month. It seems like there may be some movement towards getting here. Some of you may be stepping up in a kind of career sense, and some of you are just kind of getting brand new insights and new information that is going to help you to basically triumph, adversary. That is the Ace of Swords. You may not be feeling like this, that you have an adversary, or even if you're up against anything, but take something small. If it's a boss that you're kind of struggling with, the insight of the Ace of Swords will give you that triumph over the adversary of, you know, your difficult boss. Let's just put it as mundanely as that. Let's look at these cards together, Capricorn. I will give a brief description for Capricorn Rising and some of the transits that are coming up, specifically around money and career for Capricorn Rising this month. So if you know your rising sign too, Capricorn, for example, you may be a Capricorn Sun with a Leo rising, check the Leo video out. There'll be a little glimpse into the astrology there for your sign, for example. And it's always nice to check in with the rising sign video. I think that it gives enough insight as well. Let's look at these cards together and pull some more. Okay, so we have a look at these cards now, Capricorn. We'll pull more. What I will just quickly say for Capricorn Rising, Jupiter has now moved back into your second house of money matters, personal income, wealth, and kind of assets we accumulate on our own through our own means. Now, that had been there for the start of 2021 until May, and you maybe have, Capricorn Rising, been feeling more abundance and expansion and good fortune kind of coming through to your second house. So that's going to be helpful now that Jupiter has returned to your second house and will stay there for the rest of 2021. So like we see, Empress, right, let's go next. Venus here is going to move into your Capricorn Rising Libra 10th house of career and public recognition and outward facing appearance, basically on a bigger scale. Venus, another benefic like Jupiter, is going to be transiting through that part of your chart from the 16th of August. That is going to be a favorable time for you to look good to this boss, or Venus makes you look good, makes you more charming. People kind of receive you better when Venus is in your career house. So it's going to be a good time for you to get recognition when Venus transits the 10th house, Capricorn Rising, and it's going to be a good time for you maybe to make that negotiation with the more difficult person at work, things like that. Okay, so use that to your advantage, Capricorn Rising. Let's look at these cards now together, and we're going to pull some more to clarify. Let's start with this. I feel like initially my thoughts on this was that you had given something a massive reconsideration. Second thoughts around it, and this was like in a really big kind of way that I think if this resonates to you, you may feel it. Let's clear it up. Four of Wands and the Six of Swords. Some of you were debating departing from a company or organization. It could have been a corporation, it could have even been a school or any kind of institution that we all know about. So this kind of talks to me about you making a decision to move away from that. Some of you may be moving away from something corporate. Some of you also may be moving away from a living situation at this time, and you had been giving a lot of consideration about where it is that you live at this time and where you're establishing your roots at this time. And if there had been any stressful triggers in any of those areas like work or home, they do seem to be easing out, and you're sort of sailing towards smoother waters mentally, at least. So that's a kind of good sign for what's to come, because if you can kind of get out of a triggering situation mentally, I'm sure that's just going to improve the circumstances until you get to this Emperor energy by the end of the month, going into September, where you just feel much stronger, and you feel like at this point, I think by the end of the month, that you're kind of taking a bit more responsibility about the direction your life is moving in, and you have that clearer insight. But I digress. Let's first look at this. So August is set to be a little bit more emotional in nature, Capricorn, where you are dealing with people that you love, or friends from the past in a bigger way, or even siblings, or just a person that you've known for a while that hasn't been going through the easiest of times. Doesn't have to be a Scorpio. Let's look. It could be somebody you just really, dearly love. They may be going through a huge transformation. In turn, you may be going through a huge transformation, Capricorn. Let's see. The Page of Wands and the Moon card. Okay, so yeah, this transformation isn't fully developed yet, and so far you can't see totally how this is going to be turning out in the end, and there is still some unknown around it, which could be feeding into the more kind of emotional mess, because when these cups spill everywhere, we put so much into them, we put so much love into them, and we can be disappointed when that doesn't work out. It can almost feel like some sort of a death or like something we're even having to grieve at the moment, and you fully don't know how that loss is going to turn out yet. Yeah, for some you're anticipating that it might lead to more exciting opportunities for you that you're very willing and ready to go for and say yes to. These opportunities could be something to do with travel, or like an overseas adventure, or involving people from different cultures or ethnic backgrounds to your own, and it seems like they could be useful for you to kind of sift through this unknown at this time, if that makes any sense. But basically the transformation that you go through in the month of August, Capricorn, is really kind of to set you back to what invigorates you, I guess, even in times of chaos, and even in times of spiraling into the unknown. Some of you may feel like you're losing a little bit of, let me say, your feet kind of here. I feel like this could be the feeling of treading water here, where you can't fully stand yet, and you're putting up a lot of effort just to keep your head above water. And then to me this seems like it is an emotional nature where this is happening. You're struggling to keep up on top of everything, balancing everything, holding everything. Things are spilling, and yeah, you might be finding that a little bit more testing. But by the end of August, stepping into September, it seems like you're very empowered, and you have what the means that it takes for you, or you've gotten some news from our Page of Wands here, or somebody's given you the go ahead basically with new insight for you to get moving on your Emperor phase. And let's see what this Emperor energy is for Capricorn. We're going to step into something very powerful, very sure of ourselves, very self-starting energy here actually. This is big self-starting energy. And the Capricorn is the cardinal sign, cardinal earth. The cardinal signs are our self-starters and our initiators. We have the 10 of Wands. This is not going to be easy, you know it. Capricorn card, the devil. You know this isn't going to be super easy for you. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be obstacles to overcome. Not even overcome, obstacles just to live with in a certain sense, or like some more of a heavy cross to carry at this time. These cards together can be quite burdensome and heavy in nature. Oppression is linked to both of these cards, and feeling, Capricorn, like you have an enormous amount of duty and responsibility for yourself primarily, but also I see for others at this time. But the focus now by the end of the month has to be on number one, which is you, and this is this phase of your life that you should be grabbing with both hands, because you're this is a soul growth card for self-autonomy, for saying I am here, I have a right to be here in this world, I have a right to take up space and do my thing, and you know that's not going to falter. And it seems like you might even be starting something up, and if you are, you're totally aware, or not yet aware, but you maybe will be aware that this is going to take some time. It's going to be hard work and effort, and but Capricorn, like who better than you to understand endurance, right, and stamina, and getting there in the end. You know that good things come to those who wait. Your Saturnian ruler has kind of, you've been born with that energy that you kind of understand Saturn's ways, and you kind of know that things that happen quickly don't last, or good things come to those who wait. And that's kind of what I have for you. And especially Capricorn, if you're going to be starting something up or getting something moving, and you've gotten the go ahead to do it, or at least the insight on how you're going to do it, that's looking really positive for you. Okay, Capricorn, that is your month ahead, August and beyond. So we're looking into August, going into September with these energies. We'll speak again soon, and take care.